The Circle of Knowledge podcast is brought to you by Amplified Minds, helping entrepreneurs, intrapreneurs, and dreamers take their business ideas and goals to the next level. This podcast features best-selling industry resources and the professional panel discussion by the core team at Amplified Minds. Now, here are their discussions.
Welcome back to the Circle of Knowledge podcast, everybody. We are so excited to be able to present to you again this week at this time. This is John Kovach Jr., your host, gathered together in a really crowded but fun and exciting room. I've got
Matt Fritzsche
and Brian Hubbard,
who's back. He's been off the show with us for a couple weeks, but he's back with us and we're super excited. But guys, we're going to kick it off by shaking things up a little bit differently than before by introducing you to some of the things that are going on in our lives as of right now.
Okay, so first I have to plug in a wonderful lady that we have the privilege to know and to work with. Her name is Camilla, and Camilla owns NoHamsterWheel.com if you want to go check further into her. But we're actually working together to create a 90-day challenge, which more detail is going to come out on, but it's very exciting stuff. We're going to help you guys set a financial goal that you want to achieve. We're going to help you get that stuff done, okay? That's a piece of course, what Amplified Minds does is we hold people accountable. Camilla, she knows how to teach people how to set goals and help them achieve them. So together, we're going to create something pretty incredible. So stay tuned for that. Of course, we generally talk about the books that we like to read here at Amplified Minds, and that's why we have the Circle of Knowledge podcast. Today's book, the one that we are highlighting, is called Made to Stick, and it is from Chip Heath and Dan Heath. And in that, we're going to talk about two principles: keeping your ideas simple and making them unexpected, creating a surprise out of your ideas. And that's what the whole book is about. Made to Stick is making your ideas stick. So first of all, let's talk about simplicity and how important simplicity is when you share your message.
Yeah, so as we were reading this book on Made to Stick, the part about simplicity that we really liked, at least that I was thinking about, was sales. I personally love sales, and the part that I was talking about on sales specifically made me think about sales with a company that I used to sell for. Without naming the company or with what I was selling, have you guys ever heard that whole term where it's like, oh, it's beginner's luck? Now, I know you might hear that in poker and things like that, but at the same time, you hear that in the sales world and that sales realm and industry. It's like, oh, that guy just came on in and he got that huge sale. Well, why in the world did he get that huge sale? It's simply because when he was out there pitching whatever the product was or the service was, he made it very simple. He or she did not, know the product in and out everywhere. She came in, learned the product or the service, went out there and pitched it. It wasn't extremely complicated. It was very simple because, once again, he didn't have all of that knowledge of the complexity behind it. Yeah. So when they were out there, it was just selling what they knew on the basic level. Once again, simple, basic, you can interchange those words, but that's where the beginner's luck comes from, at least in the sales world, a lot of the times, because they just kept it very simple. But those guys that were out there, pitching their product or service that were very, very focused on the details, they lost the picture, the big picture of what's the product. Like, I don't need to know about the V8 engine. I need to know that it's a car. You need to be able to get to the very, the simplicity, the basics of it. So that's it. That's how I interpret it myself.
No, and I think that's great. And I think to draw out another example, especially here with us at Amplified Minds, and maybe I could just pitch it in two different ways and ask the audience what they think. We've definitely gone through some refinement and simplified our own messages. At the very beginning, we used to say something like this when we would tell people. We would say, hi, I'm Matt Fritzsche. I'm with Amplified Minds. We're an accountability business and a mastermind company where we go in and we help different organizations, sales teams. We help coaches. We help network marketers. We help, people within organizations. And what we do is we hold them accountable. And they have the ability to create mastermind groups for them. And we can help them achieve goals and set goals. And then we follow up with them. The idea here is it's chaos, okay? It's very difficult. But we went through some refinement and discovered how much more success we got when we simply changed the message to, hi, I'm Matt Fritzsche. I'm with Amplified Minds. We help coaches scale their abilities by providing accountability partners to their clients. We hold those clients accountable to the goals that they set, and they achieve more. And that's it. From there, we took off. Now, the beautiful part is, for especially as a business owner, is we all have this idea that we are for everyone, right? But everyone else is telling us, no, you need to get it more refined. You need to narrow your focus. You need a niche, right? Create that niche and go after that niche. Well, for us, what we discovered is as we did that, the other people started trickling in. We narrowed our focus to coaches. Well, all of a sudden, network marketers came in and said, hey, I love what you guys are doing here. Can you apply it to my business? Sales organizations came in and said, hey, I love what you're doing here. Can you apply it to my business? So that whole idea, like exactly what Brian said, I mean, it's not beginner's luck. It's just because they had the message so simple because it's all they knew. Don't overcomplicate your message, especially as a business. Don't think you serve everyone. Serve one person. Serve one person, preach it, because the others will trickle in.
And I actually just really want to touch on that again, going back to my example. With what we're talking about, keeping it simple, yes, there is a time and place for details, but the whole beginner's luck and with what Matt was just talking about and how he simplified the message right now, that's the very first time you're hearing it. When you're hearing it for the first time, when you're out there pitching it for the very first time, it's keeping it simple. But obviously there is that time and place for the complexity and the details. And that's where you would go, well, you know what, maybe I don't know everything. I'll have to be able to get my manager on the phone call, or I do know everything. I'm just telling you right now, this is the basic high level. And when we really jump into it, then I can tell you more about the details. So time and place for both. But long story short, it's keeping it very simple.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I used to work with a young troop of Boy Scouts. And I love sharing the story because it oftentimes reminded me of business. And every time we'd finish up our activities and we'd go into a gymnasium to play some sort of game, we'd ask the boys, okay, who wants to teach a new game? And they'd all get really excited. They would share a game like, oh, let's play Ghost in the Graveyard, or tag, line tag, laser tag. I don't know. They'd come up with a bunch of ideas. And then we're saying, okay, now I want you, young Boy Scout, to tell everybody simply how to play this game so we can all understand. And you'd be amazed at what people can come up with that either overcomplicate it or make it simple. And we do this every day. We overcomplicate so many things. We think that there's so many details that need to be added because that's just how it is. And we create these complications in our brain. But honestly, if I were to come out and say, hey, we're going to play tag where you can only walk on the lines of the gymnasium, do we know what we're playing? You can only walk on the gymnasium floor with the lines, and you play tag. I love it because then everybody knows exactly what's going on. What happens if you jump off the line? Doesn't matter. You can only walk on the lines. Super simple. Same thing with business. Tell people what you do and how you help them. Okay? And you can do that through the same means of saying, hey, we help people do this, and this is what we do. You don't even have to say, we do this, and this, and that, and that's everything. Oh, and there's this too, and people don't need to know that. And people don't care because people want simplicity. Think of it as this. If you are reading through, let's just say you're reading through your social media feed every day. You typically land on things that are quick, simple, bold, and just quick to the point, right? Anytime I see someone write a huge paragraph, typically I just read the first line, I'm done. I don't care about the rest of the story. I can usually get what's going to happen, with the rest of it by just reading the first line. And that's typically what we need to do. And so I think that's just a really good principle to remember, is always keeping it simple, but also finding your niche. Think about this. This is my last example. Google. Google obviously has had a lot of stuff come about, and it is a household name. Typically everyone uses Google. Yahoo doesn't exist anymore, and at least it shouldn't. And there's just so many things that people know about Google, but if I were to say, okay, Google, what is Google? Explain Google. Google is a search engine. Okay, but some people don't know what that means, so let's use a better word. You can Google it by just typing in questions, or, that complicates it. But when you get to the point where your messaging is so clear, your process becomes so easy to understand, you could even become a verb, like Google. I Googled it. How often do you Google a day? Google happens to me every day. That kind of stuff makes everything simple and creates a specific niche, which is what we read here in Made to Stick.
Very well. And I think one of the biggest fears that we all have is not addressing what our audience needs. So when we're out selling and we have a potential client in front of us, I feel like too often the majority of us fear, I know I've been there, I've done that, where I fear, well, what if this person doesn't associate well with this message but would rather hear this message? But again, it gets into that overcomplication that we've talked about. We've had clients right at the very beginning who it took us 5-6 phone calls before they said yes.
Or 5 or 6 phone calls before they even knew what we did.
Oh, that is very true.
That's
even the ones who
happened.
did say yes afterwards, after like a month or so of the service, it was like, oh, I didn't know that's what you guys were doing. And that was our fault. So we've learned a harsh lesson, and we're trying to tell you guys. I feel like this is one of those things where we can tell people all day long that sugar can kill you. You eat a bag of Oreos all day long, and it can eventually kill you. You're going to shorten your lifespan if you eat a bag of Oreos every single day. But until you eat a bag of Oreos every single day for 20 years and then realize, oh my gosh, something is terribly wrong with me, you don't associate, you don't put the two together, right? And I think this is just one of those things. You don't understand how important simplicity is until you experience it for yourself. So if you have to experience this whole rule of simplicity, go out and fail as fast as you can by overcomplicating your message as many times as you possibly can, and then just do 1 or 2 simple messages and see how much better it is for you. You're going to learn really quick, and you're going to believe what we say through your own experience. So go out, try your message as simple as possible. Stop trying to reach everybody. Even for the sales guys, I want to just hurry and say this, that the salesmen out there, find the person that you sell well to. I feel like a lot of salesmen out there, if they're selling, internet services or whatever, they go to everyone from the bank to the real estate agent to the startup to the tech company, and they just float around. But if you can stick to a niche yourself, you have a way to simplify the message to where you can communicate effectively to their needs specifically. So even to the salesman, don't just simplify your message, but simplify that niche. Really narrow your focus so that your message can be that simple.
Love it. That's fantastic. And the whole simplifying the niche, it's not that you're saying no to people because of how you simplify your message. It's that you're saying yes to certain people and allowing other people to be able to flow in later when they come on in. Making sure that your message is simple. Obviously, we've said the word simple as many times as you can probably think about in this podcast, but that's the basis of the entire podcast and the book, Made to Stick by Chip Heath and Dan Heath. So we really want you guys to be able to check out this book. It'll be in our show notes. This is what it looks like. Also, it's a fantastic cover. I mean, it actually looks like it's real duct tape, but it actually feels like that.
It actually does. And if you're listening to the podcast, clearly you can't see the book, but it's orange and it has duct tape on it.
Yep, perfect.
Well, great. Thank you so much for joining us on the Circle of Knowledge podcast. We'll see you all next time.
Hey, this is John with Amplified Minds. Thanks again for listening to the show. We really hope you enjoyed the Circle of Knowledge podcast. If you like the Circle of Knowledge podcast, go ahead, subscribe, rate us, and if you give us a 5-star review, we promise to give you a personal shout out here on the air. Just watch us. You can also engage with us a little bit more through social media. On any channel, you can just find us at Amplified Minds. To learn more about Amplified Minds, go to our website at amplifiedminds.com. That's AMPLIFIEDMINDS.com. You should also check out the Amplified Minds Accountability Program, where you can gain access to a one-on-one personal accountability coach, somebody who will contact you weekly and motivate you, hold you accountable, follow up, and give you the proper resources that will help you to go out and achieve all your goals. Hey, shout out to all you coaches, speakers, mentors, the superheroes of the world. We have the perfect program for you and your audiences. We have the capabilities of setting your audience and communities up in private mastermind groups and assign them a one-on-one personal accountability coach where they can help your people achieve the things that they're working towards tailored to your programs. For more information about this, go ahead and send me an email at John, that's JON, at amplifiedminds.com. I look forward to hearing from you.
Hey guys, Matt Fritzsche here. I'm very excited to talk to you guys about an opportunity that my wife and I are creating for ourselves. And it's more of a movement. It's more of something that we believe in personally. We believe that right now there's such a wave of this entrepreneur idea, this be your own boss mentality, stop working for someone else, start working for yourself mentality. And it's nice and all, but it's not for everyone. And we see that. And what's more unfortunate is that we see individuals who want to be a part of that entrepreneurial group, and they go out and they try it and they create hardships for themselves. But these individuals perform so well within organizations, and we're trying to raise that awareness. We're trying to excite the intrapreneur. So what we've done is we've created a business called Intrapreneur, and we are supporting those hardworking individuals, the innovators, the implementers that are the reason for businesses' success. And we're creating a community for that individual to know where they can go to be supported, to feel great about themselves, and to uplift and inspire each other. And you can actually find us at intrapreneur.shop. We sell different clothes, we sell different accessories, all to support that individual. And what we're hoping to do here very soon is we're hoping to get our community to the point where we are going to give away a Porsche Cayman S to one hardworking individual that definitely deserves to be rewarded for being a difference maker within an organization. That's a quick message I wanted to share with you guys. Thank you for listening again. Matt Fritzsche. Go check out intrapreneur.shop.